So we are in the track. This is the start line. It's not ready yet, but will be really hard because we don't have a lot of time to accelerate. So let's check all the track. So guys, this is the first obstacle, is the Geiger waves. You have two options. It's just right after the start line. So you can go fast and jump, or you can just ride. So this is the next one. This is the Broca tunnel. You have to cross up into... Stupido! Again, you have to cross between two trucks. Will be really funny for us. Now we are here in the most spectacular part of the track for me. This is the Volkswagen ID jump. It's really good because you have to go so fast and push really hard.
Okay then. For me, the big line.
We are here at the Getty Stadium. It's a big wall ride. The right line is the A line because you can see the drop later. You go directly on the bridge to the drop, and the small line here is for the chicken line, which is the left line, and it slows you a little bit down, so you can choose.
Wow, what a course for our riders today. Lots of choices with the A and B lines. We're coming to you today from Aalen in Germany. It is the 2023 UCI City Mountain Bike Eliminator World Cup Round 3 with me, Emma Martin.
And me, Matt Payne.
And we will be bringing you all of the action, and what action we are looking forward to today. We've already seen action out on the course with the women's time trial. Matt.
Yeah, great action in our women's time trial. As you can see, Gaia Tormena going to form, taking the win in the time trial. This is for one lap of that circuit. The race will be for two. Marion von Berger in second place and Moon van Diest in third place. We're running right down to Rachel Hubert's there, but all of those riders very close. And as you can see, we have the starters for the quarterfinals.
We do indeed, with Tormena, Abrahamsen and Schwarzenberger going in that first heat from Berger, Simoes, Johansson, Huberts going in heat 3. In heat 2, it's Shrivers, Magdum, Severell and Kuiper with the heat number 4 coming finally. So with 15 seconds to go, it is Abrahamsen, Tormena and Schwarzenberger lined up to go.
So here we go, it is the first of our quarterfinals. Who's going to get the quick start in the centre? You can just see Gaia Tormena rattling out from the start into a favourite position. That is P1 onto the wave now, the first of our features. It's either a roll over, you can manual off it, or you can jump right the way over, and Tormena carrying enough pace to do so. Into the truck and the drop off at the end. No problems for all three of our riders. Remember here, 2 riders will qualify to go on to the next round. This is all that story. Up over the A-line, all 3 riders over the top of the car on the gap jump. And now it's down into the narrow streets here in Aalen. At the moment, this is looking like Tormena has control, but she's not opening a huge gap at the moment. We're going to come around this left turn. It's another narrow section of the course, but they're lining up for the cracky wall ride. As you've seen, this is a huge wall. Carrying pace up high gets you into the A-line. It's another gap here, and it's a huge drop-off. Can't tell you how big this is. It's massive. So lap 1 is going to be complete. At the moment, nobody's made any mistakes on the way round. Although at the moment the weather is starting to deteriorate. We've had blazing sunshine all day. At the moment the leader though with Tormena, 0.15 of a second as they came over the line. Hardly anything separating them, but it's this battle for second and third place that is now getting really interesting. 2 to qualify. Tormena at the moment out of trouble. And this battle that you're seeing on your screens is the fight for second and third place. Tormena clear over the top of our gap jump and going off into the distance, second and third place. So that is the fight for the positions. Who is going to take it? It's looking like that gap is opening, or is it? No, it's not. They're still wheel to wheel. So this is going to come down to the very end of the race. So you can see the Danish jersey there of Abrahamsen. She's got Valentina Schwarzenberger on her heels. Can Schwarzenberger make a move on the wall or into the rundown? Now, are they both going to take the same line? They are. Who can carry the pace? Tormena's going to come through unchallenged. The sprint is on behind. Abrahamsen has the lead coming off the ramp as she carries that to the line, just making sure. Little look over the wrong shoulder there. That's something she can't afford to do in the final. Clean run there, Emma.
It was indeed Nebramerson taking that second place and that qualifier through to the semi-finals. It's Schwarzenberger missing out there, and Tormena shoulder checking as she went into that second lap to ensure she was clear. Heat number 2 lined up and ready to go now. We've got Shrivers, Migdam, Serval and Kuiper on this run.
So here we go, we are in to the second one, away we go. This is where it pays to get off that line first and fastest, and that's exactly what's happening here. You can see that massive kick over the top. Just leading out is Leah Schravers at the moment in that light jersey. Immediately behind though, you can see she has got company, and at the moment that looks to me like that is the lead Migdam, who's just closing in on the back wheel. It is Migdam at the moment over the gap jump. They are the 1-2, and it's getting a little bit sketchy. Beeline being taken there, really interesting there, and I think that was by Serval. Remember, this is Serval and Kuiper at the moment with the work to do. Kuiper on the back of the train of 4 riders, but one mistake, one slip, one slide, one slight mispositioning of the wheels, and you will find it's all going to change, particularly if you do that in front of somebody else and you get tangled up now, up over onto the big drop off here. Now front 2 trying to keep this clean, they're opening a little bit of a gap, and look at this, we've now got Kuiper moving up into what is going to be 3rd place here. Now I think we've had a problem for Serval out on the course. Just going to take a look. It may have been that Kuiper made a move in the background there as they come up over the wave. That double being cleared by our 2 leaders behind 3rd and 4th place at the moment, battling against each other, and they need to get a move on and get up into that fight for 2nd place. Now, one of the key things here, this is about qualifying through to the finals. It's that journey from time trial to quarterfinal to semi-final into the final and saving energy. But you can't save energy when you're launching yourself over the top of a car. I'd like to do it full stop, but these riders are able to do that and then do it smoothly as possible to minimize the energy that they're using to conserve energy. So here we go, around the left-hand turn, look over the shoulders there. That's very cool, calm and collected by the Danish rider. Leading Migdam at the moment is the rider going onto the Kratky wall ride. Behind it is going to be a battle between Kuiper and Serval as they go in and through. The victory will be taken by Leah Shrivers. It's good to see her coming back to her best once again here at the UCI Eliminator. So Shrivers coming through, taking the win. It's Migdam who's going to come through in 2nd place. You saw the push from Kuiper to get up there from the Netherlands. Not going to make it through to the next round, which is our semi-finals, and Miriam Serval also out of the running.
Yeah, well, interesting to see Kuiper taking the A line there, but we are lining up with Huberts, Johansson, Fromberger and Simoes for the next round.
So number 3, the rounds coming thick and fast here in Aalen in Germany, and this of course is Marion Fromberger on home turf. So let's see who will take this out. Fromberger in the white with the German stretched across the middle there. Let's see who is going to take the win, and just as importantly, who's going to go through, who's going to be eliminated. It's Eliminator, 2 riders go out, and you can just see the gap being stretched out here. It is opening up, and Fromberger going true to form. She qualified in 2nd place in the time trial, but she is being kept really closely under the eye of the rider. Immediately behind that is Aleen Simoes, who is chasing hard here. Simoes is not giving her any ground, so the Brazilian at the moment really is showing some determination. She wants to be in touch. She wants to be in a position where she can move up. If there's any mistakes by Fromberger, down the corner through between the restaurants and the bus here in town in Aalen, heading for the Kratky wall. The 2 leaders now trying to stay clear. It's Alma Johansson who is chasing at the moment. Rachel Huberts is a little bit further back. Now over that drop down, they've got to learn that as accurately as they can. Get that wrong, and that was very close there for Johansson as she landed. The bike went to the left-hand side. Tricky descent, 1 lap done. Into lap number 2. Emma, technique is key here, isn't it? Big mistake there by Johansson, she recovered.
Yeah, she did indeed, but look how close this 1-2 is at the moment. So Fromberger from Simoes, absolutely going into the truck side by side.
So here we go, drop down from our leader, that is Fromberger. It's then Simoes in wheel number 2. The gap has opened up, and look at the smile on Fromberger's face. She takes the beeline, not taking the risk there. She's allowed it into the Moise to go into the lead here. Now that is a rider who is riding smart. Look, she's got a hand out. She can't afford to relax too much, because I'll tell you something, Johansson is really pushing. So Alma Johansson behind from Sweden, the rider who is trying to close down on the two leads. They're taking a look over their shoulder as well, they might. And part of the problem here will be lose focus, and you're going to be in trouble, because you can easily make a mistake. Now, onto this big drop down, got to carry enough pace to go off, then land with both wheels pretty much level. But I think Fromberger is going to take a little bit of a rest here. She's going through super calm. She's high-fiving the crowd. Elisa Samois just kicks on the pedals, goes in over the line. So it is Elena Samois of Brazil who's going to take victory from Marion Fromberger into the two qualifiers. Hubert and Johansson are going to be eliminated from the competition.
Well, our next heat are already lined up and ready to go. So Beck, Boissier, Van Diest and Huber, round 4.
On to the final of our quarterfinals. It is number 4 who will get the big quick kick out here. Aalen Van Diest has shown herself to be absolutely phenomenal from the start, but I think this is not the easiest start. Madison Boissier has put in a lot of riding recently. She's gone up and over the top there, and she's right in contention as well. You can just see that push on the side there by Lena Huber as well. Huber on home and turf, really squeezing, and as they all came in to the first obstacle together, it is going to be 3 riders who are clear and now being led out here. This is Lena Huber from Germany, who has the lead on home ground here in Aalen. She's going to lead them out, but this is very close. Now, Aalen Van Diest has been really, really strong from the start, but she is now in the danger zone. She is rider number 2, rider number 3, right on her wheels. That is going to be Madison Boissier right in a touch. And I'll tell you something, it's not completely impossible for Hannah Beck to still qualify. 3 riders going round now. Smart riding by Boissier, who moves over onto the B-line, but it's so much slower. You can see how much ground she's lost by going up there. It's not smooth ramp up, it's not smooth ramp down. It really shakes the riders about. So it's not just about the distance, it's also about the technicality. And by going over the A-line, our 2 leaders have opened the gap into the Geiger Wallride, clearing that at the front, casing it in second wheel there. The more pace you carry, the better you can jump that, the more you can use the down slope of the ramp to take the pace off. And you can see the rain that's falling down on our cameras now, down in the squares in Aalen, is going to make this more and more greasy, more and more slippery over the sand. They go up over the top of the car. I hope it hasn't got its sunroof out, otherwise it'll be like a beach on those seats by the time we get to the end of today with that grit and gravel on the run in. But our 2 leaders look to have pulled clear here, and it shows you it's that technicality that has made the difference between our first 2 riders in heat number 4, the 4th of our quarterfinals, and the rider behind. However, still plenty of time to get this wrong or to get this right into the cracky wall ride. Really interesting 2 lines there, because you've got that nice parabolic curve in the upper section and you've got the run down the bottom there. These are your 2 riders making the way in to qualify. A look over the shoulder by both of them. A fine win there. They're taking away a top spot. It is Lena Huber of Germany. Second place going to Aalen Van Diest. And then it is going to be Madison Boissier making it to the quarterfinals, but not progressing on to the semifinals. And our last rider to come in over the line is going to be Hannah Beck. Beck finishing her race here. And that was a tough race. Racing there with a support on the wrist, that's going to be really difficult in these conditions. So tough racing there today, Emma.
Yeah, absolutely. But it really was that A and B line choice that made the difference, and we really saw that taking to the race that time round.
So our riders coming around, the rain's starting to come down, and you can just see these riders setting off here. Emma, just key points for you.
Well, key points for me really were that some of the riders really conserving as much energy as possible once they'd made the time on their heat, but well, choices of A lines and B lines from Berger, you know, that she might have finished second, but that was energy first.
Marion, it must be great to race here with so many home fans. Yes, it's amazing to be here, and it's amazing to have all these fans from my hometown and from Aalen here, and it's just incredible. The feeling on the track is undescribable. It's really, really nice to race here in Aalen.
It just started raining. Do you think it will change the race?
Yeah, the rain makes the race, of course, a bit more hard, and it changed the complete track. It will be slippery for sure. A lot of guys change now to the B line, and it's getting really, I think, really excited and really interesting who is able to race in the rain. And for sure, some will change the technical support. And yeah, I'm really excited to race now in the rain. We never did it here in Aalen, so yeah, it's going to be cool.
Thank you. The best of luck for the rest of the race.
Thank you so much.
Well, the rain is coming down now, and it will change the racing. Now, we've got the results on the screen from the men's time trial.
So in the men's time trial, it was Rika Gegenheimer and Carl Hoven up at the top of the standings as they came in to qualify. This is how it translates going across into our 8th finals. You can see our qualifiers in here. Big names missing. It's going to be Zinny Van Looy. We've got Castillo Yolo missing in action as well. Kirill Tarasov not making his way through the finals. Jakubowski and Matsumoto Messi as well out. Big names missing, but it's really chased them. Boy, is it raining. Here we go into the men's quarter-finals. And they are going to be setting off in what is torrential weather here. So here we go, first of the men's quarterfinals. Who's going to kick off quickest? Watch out for Klausmann, the German. He has got plate number 9, and he's sets off like an absolute rocket at the moment. He has the lead at the moment from Cés, who's the French champion, but look at the pace they're carrying. They are landing almost on the joint, and we know that is tricky from previous races. Into the trucks, diagonally diving across. We speech out, hang on, we got first slide coming off. Oh, he's gone for a complete burn, and he went for a complete pirouette just about. He landed it, he's going to get clipped back in. That is Cés who's gone, and it has left a huge gap for the very front of the race here. Klausmann has got the gap now. They are foot out and flat out all over the place behind, and it's showing you just how tricky it is. So it's now Klausmann being followed by Niels Obed Rika, the fastest of our riders, and this is where the skills of the riders have to be matched by their ability to adapt the technical level of their bike. They have to change tyre pressures to get more grip, be aware of those grip levels in the rain, and adapt to it. They've not had the chance to ride this in the rain. They don't know what this is going to translate as, and anybody who's walked down a paving slab, down a set of cobbles, a set of blocks, you know it's going to change, and it's going to change even on the course. It's dry, it's wet, it's absolutely torrential. Another mistake going into the landing there. That wasn't just a case, that was a full-on landing almost to the top of his bottom bracket. Was almost making contact with the top of that ramp. Now, this is the corner where we saw Cés deck it the last time around. Is he going to do the same? No, he's riding a bit more circus back. So this is not just about riding fast, this is about riding smooth, making sure you keep this now. Klausmann starting to come under a little bit more pressure. He's been able to pace himself here so far at the front of the race, but as he makes his way through these narrow streets, you're probably wishing it went underneath the awnings of the bars here. It's not going to, it's going to keep them out and exposed as they head into the Kretki wall ride. A little bit more grip on there. It's designed to cope with the raid onto the ramps, onto the drop-off. Looks like it is going to be Klausmann who's going to take it. They're going to force him to sprint though. Klausmann coming through. It's going to be Rika behind, I think. We're just going to have a look. Niels Albert Rika, I think, taking second place there from Cés and Stiebel. What a race.
Yeah, and it really is the weather that's playing its part at the moment, and it's not the technical features, it's those cobbles. They are like ice at the moment. Take a look at that. Really precarious on the corners at the moment racing. So we are into heat number 2 in the men's. Matt.
Quarterfinals coming up. Quarterfinal 2, Nemec, Perrin-Gagne, Renzen, Hauser are lined up here. Fast starters usually here. Well, if Perrin-Gagne doesn't wear the rainbow stripes, a world champion for nothing, and he's a man who knows to keep himself out of trouble. He's been qualifying quite slowly. He's been saving his energy, but now he can't afford to take that gamble because he can't afford to get tangled up with anybody else. He jumps all the way over the second of the waves, landing on the smooth ramp, and they are sprinting to get into the trucks first. across from the right truck to the left truck for us, left to right for them. At the moment, Hauser being pushed down in third place. He's got the inside line. He's squeezing on there and putting the pressure on the riders. And it's one way you can force a mistake, really start to overlap those wheels, but it's risky. The riders know what's around them. They've got that awareness, and this is where it pays off to know when to put the effort in. We saw Perrin Gagne, you can see by his plate, he qualified in 12th place in the time trial. He came through in his 8th final, not really by a huge margin. He had taken it pretty steady, but at the moment he's holding on now. Round the wall ride we go, up on to the big drop-off. Perrin Gagne leading at the moment. He has the lead. Oh, and another mistake on the way down. You can just see the issues as they come through. So as they come through, Perrin Gagne, he's leading out. He took a look over his shoulder there. Nemec looking pretty smooth. And it's Daniel Renz who came down in that big stack. Now, Perrin Gagne not quite getting that wrong. But look at this. Renz is back up and running. He's made a tough stuff, that lad, I tell you. That is some going. Well, around the left-hand turn from the trucks, they're heading in towards that big car gap jump. Are they all taking the A-line? They are. They don't want to gamble by taking the longer B-line on the outside. At the moment, the world champion, Titouan Perrin Gagne, with the race lead. Now, this is the run through the narrow streets. We've got a 90 left turn. We come in towards the wall ride, go round to the Cracky wall ride, and then we're on to that massive drop down. As these riders come through, remember it's only 2 riders who will qualify out of the 3. Really, really tricky, and we're now coming into the moment where we saw Renz hit the deck on landing. The landing is absolutely critical, and it's tight behind. The sprint is coming. Hauser's going up on the side here. Hauser's trying to make the move. Oh, has he got it? He might have got that just on the line. We await the official confirmation. So it was shown as Perrin Gagne, Hauser and Nemec in a battle together. Let's take a look at this sprint once again. Oh, this is already the lap before Emma. How did that go wrong?
Well, Renz, that was all about the landing, and a shift of weight on that missed landing caused him to have a problem. And he'd also had an issue on the corner. So we said those corners were like ice in the rain, and we saw torrential rain coming through. It's looking like it's still coming down as we're lining up for the next heat.
Well, I'm sure those umbrellas, the parapluies are not parasols today in this torrential rain, as these riders line up. Ulmeyer, Gegenheimer and De Mongeon on the outside. De Mongeon looks like he really doesn't want to be out in the rain today. Gegenheimer, though, well, I'll tell you something, he is absolutely fired up for this. Mr. Moustache with those rainbow bands as a former world champion is down there in the 3rd lane from the left. But this is about getting round cleanly as much as it is about getting round in the start. So who will take this out? We're all ready to go. We await the whistle to get the starters, the riders away. I think we're waiting to get Renz back round. He hit the deck. Hopefully he hasn't done so again out on course for a 3rd time. And that would be pretty sore. The commissaire team, the race referees, are just making sure that the course is clear, and they are 100% happy. They know that Renz is off the course before they set the riders through. The commissaires, they are our race referees, so he's just going to make it sure the riders are clear. They're there to check the riders abide by the rules. They've got a tough job, but I'll tell you something, without them, who knows what our officials and riders would get up to. You can just see focus down. These riders are having to keep themselves focused. The riders now lined up. They lift themselves up to get the maximum power down. Watch out for Gegenheimer in the back. Oh, massive, massive false start there. They thought they were going to go. Now they go. I'll tell you something, that was almost natural karmic justice for the man who put in the false start there, but it is going to be tight at the front here. Gegenheimer not going into the lead. That is currently being taken at the moment by Stefan Meyer. So it's going to be Meyer who comes out from the truck first, then Gegenheimer, and it's Gegenheimer who now slides. You can see the moment he was sliding, he had his arms down. He was trying to stabilize that so that he could get back up. It's not all over yet, but that corner, I don't know what they put on there, but it is absolutely as greasy as it is, so slippery. And at the moment, that slide, it's left De Mongeon with a gap now. Can he keep his cool? Can he keep calm? He can't afford to get this wrong. And I'll tell you something, Gegenheimer should know this course inside out. It's his hometown. He's grown up riding around these couples probably in various times of day and night as they come in at the moment. He's in fourth position now. Don't put it past him to move up into P2, but he's got his work cut out because you can see in front of him we have 2 riders who he's got to get past, and then he's got a whole position. Now he starts to try and push. He's going up on to the shoulder of Meyer. He goes past Meyer into this drier corner where you can carry speed, but he's now got to modulate that. Oh, and a big mistake, front and down. That was Meyer who hit the deck. He got the nose, came down too early. It landed in the depression between the two. He didn't manage to roll it over the top. And I tell you what, this now means that De Mongeon, he can afford to take it easy. Will we see Gegenheimer take to the B line here? He's going to go straight over the top. Well, they've picked themselves back up again. That looked like a big hit there. And it was Marlon Earl who hit the ground hard there. So Earl and Meyer both are being taken out of contention. That's leaving De Mongeon and Gegenheimer in the lead. And this is one of the things about mountain biking, whether you are in a city mountain bike environment in an eliminator or you're racing up in Glasgow or in Glentress, the World Championships on the XCE or on a mountain stage or a downhill. You've got to be able to and it is De Mongeon and Gegenheimer who come through with the win, and you can just see, I mean, you've got a feel for these two riders. They came down so hard on that wave ride. They're continuing to push, but I'm not sure I'd want to ride over anything as bumpy as this summer, but it shows you just how hardy they are. Well,
exactly, and it shows you just how skilled they need to be in these conditions and how they need to react and change. You know, they would have warmed up and pre-ridden the course on a dry course, riding very differently now and having a big impact on the results. So we are lining up for heat number 4 of the men's quarterfinals. It is Bitterbeer, Schwarzenberger, Kalhoven and Claudi who are in the start pen at the moment.
So here we go, it's been action-packed so far. They'll know what's happened, who's going to take this on from the start. And look at the pace. They may know that people have hit the deck on this straight start. They know they've got to carry pace, they've got to carry speed. The tyres dry initially, and they've not picked up too much detritus, too much dirt, too much debris that combined in with the water in those tyres. And they are shoulder to shoulder. They know how tricky that is. And I'll tell you something, they are dancing a very fine line between staying upright and keeping that power down and coming a real stropper and going for a big slide here. So here we go, round the turns here. This is the run for the line into that corner. Before we go on to the wall ride, they all want to see what they've got in front of them. Schwarzenberger, a man who's never afraid to make a move. At the moment, he's the man in first place. He has got the lead of the race at the moment. He doesn't need to make a move. He's going to be glad of that. He has got company, though, and the two leaders just starting to stretch out here. And the rider behind that is Julian Claudi. Claudi is sitting in second wheel, but a move being made here. And look at this, Thibaut Kalhoven of France on his way up on the inside. Oh, they shoulder to shoulder. He doesn't make it stick over the wave. And I'll tell you something, he's whipping it up as he goes over there. He's a rider who's confident in the grip between his tyres and the ground. That's a brave move, taking the chances. The sun starts to shine once again down in Aalen. It's going to dry, and the changeable conditions continue to change here. Over the top they go. Now, 1 and 2 at the moment look fixed, but third place, chasing hard. We've seen these moves being made on the way round. It's about being able to be in contention, able to take on the riders at the front. You can just see that Schwarzenberger leading round just to push it down the outside foot, putting the pressure on it, trying to keep the weight over the tyres. making sure they've got maximum grip up onto the high line, up around the Kreski wall ride, over the big drop off here. Oh, it's going to be a sprint for the line. It's about carrying momentum. He looks over the wrong side, and look at that, he goes up underneath. He goes and takes it into the sprint. He had the door shut on him. He just kicked it back open again. What a ride the two Frenchmen go through. Schwarzenberg and Carl Hoban from Cloudy. And I think we're going to see Jay Bitterby, the rider who's not going to make it through. Great racing, Emma.
Yeah, absolutely, and great to see Carl Hoban come through there as we drop to our interview shortly. So Carl Hoban just coming round there to take that second qualifying place.
Thibaut, quelle finale, quelle course.
Ouais, c'est un parcours très glissant, il vient de pleuvoir. Ça va être difficile, mais bon, il va falloir rester serein et aller le plus loin possible.
Le sprint, c'était fou, hein?
Ah oui, c'était fou, mais bon, il m'a serré sur le côté, mais je ne me suis pas laissé faire et voilà, ça passe.
Merci.
Avec plaisir.
Well,
So,
that is
Thibaut,
incredibly
he said
difficult
that, the
despite
sprint
the
was
heat with
very
this
close.
increasing rain, with it changing so fast here, Emma. That is very, very tough, isn't it, when we get that kind of changing weather. And when you're a mountain bike coach or you're a mountain bike rider, it's one of the things you try and deal with, isn't it?
Yeah, because you can't just go out onto the course on the bike you were riding in the dry. You mentioned earlier, Matt, you need to change the tyre pressure, you need to think about different things, and the women here will indeed be thinking very differently in this semi-final. This is Heat 1. Abrahamsen, Meigem, Tormain and Shrivers all lined up and ready to go.
So 4 riders on the line in each semi-final, 2 riders going through. Will it be Tormain, Shrivers, Meigem or Abrahamsen? They are all good to go, and away they go. This is the start of the race. And again, Tormain wants to get in front and try and stay out of trouble. Now, remember, she was starting and she did her heat in what was better conditions. The track changing, it's starting to dry a little bit. It'll dry less when there is no wind, it'll dry less when there is no sun. At the moment, you can just see a little bit of care being taken coming in and around these corners as the riders come through. They know that it's not just about being able to hold the position in the corner, it's also about transferring the speed off and making that move and putting the power down. At the moment, Tormain doing so out of every corner. She's been riding a lot more enduro recently. She's been riding a lot more of the big mountain that will improve the strength. However, she's got to not let that blunt her kick and her acceleration. I'll tell you something, she's accelerating away quite quickly at the moment. The chase is on behind, but this is all about that 3rd and 4th place. Nobody wants them. They all want to be a top 2 here. Now Tormain looks over a shoulder, move being made here. Shrivers moves over the top of there, and it's up over the top of Meigem. At the moment, you can just see Abrahamsen sitting in 4th wheel, waiting, looking to see what happens, sitting a little bit further back here. Now that could well be deliberate. She knows that her best chance is if somebody makes a mistake, and if that happens, she needs room to go round and let them slide out the way, but it doesn't look like we've seen any mistakes up at the front. They are being careful where they need to at the moment. Around that left-hand turn into the direct sunshine here. Over the top, they go from the sunlight into the shade, and the landing is in the shade, and that's to be making it more difficult here. Into the right-hand turn now. Tormain out the saddle, kicks down hard behind. Shrivers is sitting right on her wheel, and Tormain is not opening up her traditional gap, which has seen her take the wins comfortably. She's having to work hard here because she's not able to just open up the power. She's having to kick in a controlled manner, and she's not getting the gap she normally does, so she's having to work for longer in the race. This could take its toll as we see the riders come down off that big drop. They're coming in towards the line. Look at this. Well, it is going to be Tormain and Shrivers who go through. Lynn Meigem not to go through this time around. She's eliminated from the run to the finals here. And you can see our 2 qualifiers, Tormain and Shrivers. It's Meigem and Abrahamsen who are out of the running.
Well, that was very much about staying upright and making sure you make the final, not just riding and racing. So very different tactics we saw there from Tormain as we move to heat number 2. This is the second semi-final. We've got Simoes, Fromberger, Van Diest and Huber all in start pen, lined up and ready to go.
Well, will it be Aalen Samois on the left-hand side? Can she take on the might of Fromberger in the middle, the home rider from Germany, who's leading them up onto the wave as she goes out to her right-hand side, our left, as Samois is pushed back into a 4th place at the moment. Is it going to stay like that? Oh, 2nd and 3rd went in side by side. What are they going to be doing when they come out? Well, they have separated. Oh, massive slide. Aalen van Diest holds it. She's going to get clipped back in. That was some hold there, and they take the A-line as Tormena takes the B-line. Risky move by Tormena doing that, and she has chosen to do that. I tell you what, it's put the rest back in the contention there as Fromberger goes in and through. So it's Fromberger there, looking like she's taking a really interesting B-line coming through. We're really interested to get Emma's take on that when we come out there. Fromberger takes a B-line, the others take the A-line, they come right back in touch, and Aalen van Diest is in there. Now can she hold on to that position? They're challenging, the push is coming behind, it's a massive kick coming in, but that is going to be Alina Huber eliminated, I think, along with Aalen Samois. The riders coming round, carrying that through. Will it be the same? Oh, and they make a mistake. It's a mistake on the way round. I tell you what, Aalen van Diest, they completed lap 1. I said they were going to go through. That's the commentators, Kurt striking. And now Fromberger is pushed down into 2nd position as we see that all chase. Lena Huber, who was just riding out the race, along with Aalen Samois, are now right back in the mix. And has Fromberger been shaken? Like she takes that B-line again. And this is put Samois. Oh, there were tyres to stick them round. This is tyre to tyre. It's wheel to wheel. It's shoulder to shoulder. And my goodness me, the crowds in Aalen here are being treated to a massive spectacle here. Aalen van Diest, she's back on the bike. That is some acrobatics. So all power to her for just getting back up again. Now, who is going to go through? Who is going to be able to take those spots? They come up on to this big drop down. Samois goes over the main drop here. She's trying to carry the speed onto Fromberger's wheel shack. Can she close this down? Oh, it's not to be. And after what we thought was clear cut at the end of lap 1 with Fromberger going through with Van Diest, that didn't happen. Emma, I don't know even where to start. This was just rider error, surely.
Well, that was indeed rider error, but you know, Fromberger's strategic choice there on the A and B line, because she's absolutely adamant she was crossing the line, because there's no qualification into the final if you do not cross the line, and the risk level associated with the course at the moment with the rain is just an added dimension, and that's a rider using her head.
It is. Well, I think head was definitely used here by Aalen van Diest. All power to her coming in and through the line. She went to ride the wave, but then almost forgot it was a double there.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all done it, and it usually hurts. I'll tell you something, whenever I've got it wrong, and I've got it very wrong, I don't look like that afterwards.
Well, that's it, isn't it? As we move on to our men's semi-final, we've got heat number 1 in front of us, and it's Perrin Gagne, Klausman, Hauser and Riker lined up and ready to go.
So this is for 2 riders to go through. They're all massive powerhouses. They've all had their moments out on the qualifying, and as they kick it down, Klausman doing his traditional fast start. He's well over jobs, going a long way down onto the smoother landing part. He's been challenged by Tituan Perrin Gagne, the world champion, in 2nd place here. Now they're carrying pace on the inside line there. It's really risky. Hauser just taking the slightly wide line, but I think that's dried out a little bit better. All the way over the A-line there, over the car gap jump into the 90 right. Here they come around the corner. It is Klausman in 1. It's Perrin Gagne in 2. And at the moment, it could well be that we are going to see Nils Obed-Rika eliminated here in Germany. And Theo Hauser at the moment has got to find something special. But we've seen anything can happen at any time. This is what mountain biking is all about. This way is so special and so great to bring it in to the cities, into town, to get great new spectators and supporters at the side. And that's what they're seeing. They're seeing a great race here as they cheer on the world champion who moves into 1st place here. He's got the front of the race. He comes down, but I'll tell you something, this is not over yet by any means. Rika keeps on taking a look down the side here, time and time again, down off the drop-off. In 1, Perrin Gagne in 1, Klausman in 2. In the 3 is going to be Nils Obed-Rika. It's there, Hauser in 4. Well, can they do anything? Time's starting to run out here. There's no room for overtaking. You've got to kick out a huge amount of watts to try and make a move down here. It's so easy to defend. The width of those bars wide enough to prevent the riders with just a little bit of deviation on your line. Stop anybody coming round, but then you're lining up now. And as you come out here, this is about lining up. This is about making sure. Oh, Hauser tries to take a sneaky move up. He does. He moves into third place. Hauser is looking to challenge here. It's not all over as far as he's concerned. He tries to carry maximum momentum off to run into second place. He's up against two of the best sprinters, so Klausman stops partway. He goes through there. He takes the win there, and Gagne comes through into Hauser. Not quite making it. That was a brave challenge as he came into that corner.
Well, I knew that was going to be a sprint to the finish line because that was the only place left with 4 riders lining up and straight in. We're looking now for heat number 2 in the men's semi-finals. Strotzenberger, Kalhoven, Gegenheimer and de Mongion, who won last time by such a long way because his last heat, well, that was a cracker.
Let's see who's going to take this out. Who will go through? 2 riders to go through, 2 riders to be eliminated from the race into the finals. Here we go. Almost holding my breath as we go over every single feature here. 5 key features around the course. The first, that wave double, where we've seen incidents. This has been the least difficult of all of those obstacles. We've seen the least changes of position going in and through it. Over the car jump, well, we've seen 1 or 2 riders take the B-line. I don't think that's going to happen this time as go over that gap jump. And at the moment, we still have those 4 riders all basically in contention. Kalhoven leading this out. Gegenheimer in second wheel. De Mongion in third wheel. And Strotzenberger currently in fourth wheel. They come around, they're lining up for the wall. This is where they're all thinking about going high. That's where they want to be. They carry that pace. Watch them around that curve. Great technique. Strotzenberger holds it down low though. Whether that is to carry pace or just he wants to get a different line in, he's got a little bit of a run, but he's still sitting in 4th place. But Gegenheimer, look at this, he's moved up on the inside on what is a sketchy corner. Round he goes. He pushes them wide, and I think he had to scrub a little bit of speed off there. I'll tell you somebody who isn't scrubbing any speed, Kalhoven whipping it up over the doubles every single time. That man loves that bike. He's got it absolutely under control. He's got it dialed. He knows what he's doing. He can plant it down when he wants. He's so confident with that. Would I put it past him trying to get past Gegenheimer on that final obstacle? No, I wouldn't, because he has tried some really interesting moves, but it is de Mongion who is leading it out here as they come through. So de Mongion in 1, Gegenheimer in 2. It is Kalhoven now in 3 with Strotzenberger in 4. This is going to be the culmination of this lap. This is where it's all going to be decided. Are we going to see Gegenheimer go through? Can we see a move being made? Now the sprint opens up and they're going to go across the road here. Gegenheimer looks to the wrong side. He pushes on. He's going to make it through with de Mongion, and it is an elimination here. And that is going to be for Thibaut Kalhoven and Quentin Strotzenberger. So 1 German rider, 1 French rider from that heat into the finals in Gegenheimer and de Mongion. Kalhoven and Strotzenberger out of the running.
Well,
Time to take a breath. Wow.
2 semi-finals for the men and 2 full-on sprints for the line, and those positions well and truly deciding on those sprints. They were changing pace regularly on heat number 2. Height number 1 was a sprint line out, but it is fast and furious in the men's racing at the moment. So the finals are up on the screen in front of you. Heading towards our final for the women is Tormena, Fromberger, Shrivers and Huber. For the final for the men, Gegenheimer, de Mongion, Klausman and Perrin Gagne.
And we are going to be showing you those finals, the minor finals for places 4 down to 8. Well, we are going to do something just slightly a little bit different. We're going to dive down into the riders who are down in that warm-up area. I think, Emma, for me, it's kind of gone to plan in who's in the finals, but not by how we expected it. And probably for me, the biggest person who I thought would be there is Amund van Diest, who took that massive tumble.
Yeah, the weather really played a part, but the weather changed dramatically as we head down into the warm-up area and catch up with our riders before the final.
We are at the warm-up zone here, together with Titoan and Simon, the world champion and the home guy. Titoan, can I ask some questions? How's the racing been so far for you?
What?
How has the racing been so far for you?
It's tricky with the rain, and it's gonna be a tough battle in the final.
Seems like the track is drying up a little bit.
Yeah, the track is slippery and the track is hard, so it's hard race.
How do the legs feel at the moment?
Not my best, but I will push hard.
Good luck.
It's already on the way.
Huh? They said 4 minutes. Yeah, but a small final, yeah, it's nothing. Okay, we're with Simon here. We're with Simon here. He had some crazy racing so far with the fall in the quarterfinals. The track is very tricky at the moment.
Yeah, it's getting already better because the rain is gone. But I don't know the track yet now, how the conditions are really, so you have to decide in the moment. Look on the ground and see if it's wet or not, or go full gas or ride safety.
I guess you're full of adrenaline after the crash?
Yeah, for sure. It was not my fault. The guy in front of me crashed, so I had to crash. I had to brake, and then at that moment my tire slipped. But I came back on the bike really fast, so I still felt to have a chance to go further. But now semi-final was even harder with Quentin and Kalkoven. But I made it. Now I'm in the final. I'm looking forward.
Your body is okay from the crash?
Sorry?
Your body is okay from the crash?
My body is okay. I'm just empty because it was now 2 hard races. But yeah, I'm in the final. That's what I wanted. In the final at the home race, so that's good.
The best of luck. Enjoy. So we go to Marion now. Also a home rider. Marion, we can ask some questions. How's the racing been so far? Like you said, the track really changed because of the rain.
Yes, it was really slippery on the ground, and that's why I didn't jump all the obstacles. No risk in the semi-final to be good in the final.
It will probably be a big battle with Gaia now, I guess.
I hope so. I will go all in, and I will have fun, and I enjoy the crowd, and yeah, this is my main focus.
The best of luck. Thank you.
Okay, so here we go. The women's final list is up. Emma Gaia Tormeno, Marion Fromberger, Leah Schreivers, and Lena Huber lined up on this list. Any particular favourites out of this?
Well, I think it's going to be a Fromberger-Tormeno battle. Local rider versus the world champion. You know, Fromberger mentioned there, we saw her down in the holding area. There was a no-risk strategy to qualification. She's qualified for the final, and now it is absolutely all-out racing. She's going to enjoy that crowd, but Tormeno, I tell you, is absolutely going to bring the battle to her. I am really looking forward to what these women bring to this final today.
Well, these riders lined up. They've had plenty of time. You saw Marion Fromberger there talking about those changing conditions. Will she be able to get this done? She was very smart there about not using the A line, about using that B line. She was very open that that was her game plan going in and her game plan to the end. But I don't think she's going to have that luxury here. They want to go away with the points, to come away from here up at the top of the standings. That standings is led by Tormeno from Fromberger, and the gap between them currently 24 points. And when you've got a win for 60 for the win in this race, 40 for second, that could overturn it. So it's going to be really about being in there. Third place, Aalen Van Diest, not in these finals. Riders being ready for the start of the race. Let's see who's going to take this on. This is the finals, and away we go. Who's going to get the quick kick off the line? Tormeno gets a traditional start from. Berger is in second wheel. The track has dried out a little bit here, but this is by no means a guaranteed 1-2 with the conditions we've got. And I'll tell you something, Leah Schreivers challenges that came into the truck. She's still in position. She's also under pressure here. You can see that Lena Huber is all over the back wheel of Schreivers. It's not an elimination now. It's all about those places. They want to be on the podium. They want to get maximum points out of the racing. Round the turn they go. Remember, 2 laps to decide this. Tormeno takes a look over her shoulder. She hasn't got the gap she would expect to have. She is clear of the rider in 4th place, but in between, sandwiched in between, you've got Fromberger and Schreivers. And as they come around this left-hand turn round the Koretsky wall ride on to the big DSO drop-off, you can just see as they drop down, we just start to see a little bit more gap there coming at the front of the race. The riders at the front able to optimize their position on the track. They're able to choose their pace and speed, and that is what I think is giving them that little bit of a gap. Now Fromberger challenges by getting a big move in up over the double. The home crowd are going absolutely nuts down at the side there because they're seeing the German in 1st place, and this has now put Tormeno on the back. Oh, and it's a slide out. He knew this was risky. She's gone over into the lead, and then she's come down heavily down on the side there. That is not what you want to happen as you hit the corner. So it is going to be Tormeno in 1. It is Schreivers in 2. Currently going to be Lena Huber in 3. Around this turn, on to the wall right, there you go. This is that left-hand turn that is back to allow you to carry the speed into that bigger drop-off. And this is going to be Tormeno's sprint unleashed. Here she comes in. Oh, it's all the way in and over the line, and she's not going to get it. What a win for Leah Schreivers there in a final filled with action. Schreivers takes it. And look at this, Marion Fromberger has picked herself back up again, and she's going to ride into the finish. Boy, she's made of tough stuff.
My heart goes out to Fromberger today. You know, she took Tormeno as she went into that 2nd lap because Tormeno jumped that double too high. So Tormeno making a mistake and Fromberger benefiting from that and coming through and overtaking and moving into 1st place and sliding out on that corner. What a heavy crash. Picking herself back up again. She knew those conditions were hard and she knew she had to go all out to beat Tormeno. But Tormeno losing the sprint to Schreivers. So Schreivers in 1 and Tormeno in 2. Well, I just wasn't expecting that.
No, we certainly weren't, but there you can see the race winner as Marion Fromberger goes through, getting the applause from the crowd, and quite rightly so. I have to tell you something, that was a big hit, and it didn't look like she came down on a really comfortable place either.
No.
Not that there's anywhere comfortable in town. So let's watch this again. Now you can see she comes down and she hits that curb edge as she's down on the floor. So she basically braked herself to a standstill with her thigh. That left the door open here, and Tormena gave it everything. But it was Shriver's. What timing? The most important time to be at the front is when you cross the line. I'll tell you something, she timed that to perfection.
She absolutely did. Well, I wonder what on earth is going to happen next. So Shriver's in 1, Tormena in 2, Huber in 3, and Fromberger in 4. That is the results of the women's eliminator final today. And now for the men. So
a moment of calm.
It is indeed. So we have Perrin Gagne, Klausmann, de Mongeon, and Gegenheimer lined up and ready to go in the start pen today. This is the final. This is the final of the Mountain Bike Eliminator World Cup Round 3 from Aalen in Germany.
So away we go, and it's a massively quick start here for both Klausmann and for Gegenheimer. Gegenheimer in the black comes off second best at the moment to Klausmann, who's in the lead with the world champion, pushed down into third place. Quickly moving up was de Mongeon on his wheel, but he's going to have to give way coming in unless he wants to tangle on the way down. And it's Klausmann who's leading. They go over that curb step up on that corner, and as you can see, they take the right-hand turn. All the riders negotiating that slight step up where the riders had to break contact to then regain it. No problem so far for these riders. And Klausmann just starting to open a little bit of a gap on Gegenheimer. And Gegenheimer has to respond to this. The man in black, the hometown hero here in Aalen, will be looking to take away victory and maximum points. But at the moment, he's got his work out and he's got the attentions of Perrin Gagne on his heels. Perrin Gagne leading the series from Gegenheimer. Schwarzenberger down in third place. And at the moment, Klausmann, the rider who is currently well down the standings in 7th place, is the rider who seems to have a clear run. But look at the speed and power of Perrin Gagne all the way around the outside. Absolutely nailing it and moving into second place with de Mongeon following him through. And Gegenheimer, I think, is paying the price of those earlier efforts. That journey through the time trial, through the 8 finals, through the qualifying quarterfinals, into the semis and into the final. That's a lot of riding, it's a lot of kicks, and it's taken its toll on Gegenheimer. Now a real battle between Perrin Gagne in second place with de Mongeon, and this could well mean that the attentions of each other are focused on second and third place. They are leaving Klausmann a clean run through here, and I think this is going to be Felix Klausmann's day at the office here today. He's going to go through. The sprint is on for second place. It's going to be Klausmann who's going to get his hands in the air. Who's going to follow him through the line? It is Perrin Gagne in 2, de Mongeon in 3, and Gegenheimer will be off the podium, but he takes 4th place in the finals there.
Well, what a ride from Klausmann. That was absolutely full gas from the start and rewarded by staying clear all through that final. So Klausmann in 1, Perrin Gagne in 2, de Mongeon in 3, and Gegenheimer in 4. Well, now we are going to head over and hear from the winner of the women's race. That is Leah Shrivers, and we're heading over now.
Felix Klausmann, im Deutschen Meister, und Leah Shrivers.
Leah, congratulations. Winning your first UCI World Cup win at home, it must feel great.
It's amazing. Like, I've been chasing our first victory for like a couple of times. I've been so many times second behind Gaia. She seemed to be as unbeatable. And today, I don't know what happened, but I was stronger. Also lucky for sure, because Marianne crashed. She was in first position. Very sad to do that at home, but that's eliminator race, and today I got lucky and strong, and my first victory.
Your final sprint was really amazing.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't think it was my power. I believe actually someone else gives us the power, and so the thank goes up to God, because He gave me the power to sprint on that straight to overtake Gaia and to get that first victory, and it's amazing.
Congratulations, enjoy.
Well, great to hear from our women's winner, and look at the joy on Felix Klausmann's face as he came in and over the line. What a ride by him. I tell you something, I don't think he was expecting that at the start of the day. Let's see what he's got to say for himself down at the interview.
Felix, your first UCI World Cup win here in Germany must be like your biggest win?
Maybe. It was a crazy race here. I like the course and the rain. It was amazing and really difficult. But on the final and the semi-final, I had a good feeling on the track and could go full gas in the corners. So yeah, I gave everything and I took the win. So yeah, crazy.
You had control quite early in the final, it seemed.
Yeah, I didn't know if the other riders could crash in front of me, and then the race is over. So I took everything into the start and tried to control the race in front and make a gap to Simon or Titoan, and then they couldn't catch me anymore. So yeah, it was a race for me today.
Congratulations, enjoy.
Well, Klausmann's strategy working for him. Absolutely beautiful in that final today, taking that win and liking the weather conditions. So really good to hear that. So Schrivers and Klausmann winning the men's and women's finals today. We are going to head over to the flowers ceremonies shortly. But one quick word for the crowd today. They have been out in force despite the weather and really enjoying the racing.
They have indeed been enjoying the race, and now they can enjoy the flower ceremony. You can see that you have your top riders being pulled up to the flower ceremony, taking away a third place here today. Lena Huber of Germany, a second place for the world champion Gaia Tormena from Italy. Top spot taken by Leah Schrivers of Germany in Aalen. It is round number 4. They're your top 3. They take the applause of the crowd, and quite rightly so. Fantastic racing here, and a very tough day for many riders in both the women's and men's races.
It was indeed, and those races now being put together for our preliminary World Cup standings. So Tormena still on top with 205 points, Fromberger in 2, 156, Van Diest in 3, 125 points, De Vries in 4. So Tormena still remaining top of the overall standings.
And just extending her lead as we move into the flower ceremony for the men. It is going to be a little shuffle, I think, for them into the correct positions. Let's see the right riders in the right order. It's always really good to see as they work out where they should be. So third place is going to go to Kylian Demongeon of France in the blue. He gets his flowers. The world champion Titoan Perrin-Gagné in second. Top spot, your race winner, you heard from it, Felix Klausmann of Germany, flanked by the 2 Frenchmen here at Aalen at the UCI Mountain Bike Eliminator World Cup. A very happy man who managed to stay out of trouble by doing everything right, staying out at the front. His sprint from the line really working for him today.
Well, it was indeed. And our men's preliminary World Cup standings, Perrin-Gagné in 1, Gegenheimer 2, Klausmann 3, Schrotzenberger 4, Kalhoven 5, Hauser 6, Demongeon 7, Reicher in 8, Ceres in 9, and Van der Steen rounding out the top 10.
And Perrin-Gagné extending his lead on Gegenheimer by virtue of finishing in second place over Gegenheimer's 4th place here today. Gegenheimer not on the podium, but what a day. Our best wishes go out to our riders out there. It was a really tough day at the office, and our riders really did keep the crowds entertained here. Emma, it's been an absolute pleasure watching them, and got to say, 2 surprise winners.
Well, yeah, it was indeed. We weren't expecting that, were we? But the sprints that we saw in the semi-finals, phenomenal to make the selection, and the technical features today and the weather.
So great to put words to the action. It's been fantastic to be here with you. We're going to hope our riders pick themselves all back up and they're all good to race at our next round. Please do tune in. From myself, Matt Payne, and from Emma Martin, we will see you again next time. Goodbye.